pharmacist in Congress. He opened today's hearing by excoriating the witnesses.
Mr. Chairman, I'm disgusted that we're here today to talk about drug price increases. As a pharmacist for over 30 years, I've owned and operated numerous pharmacies in southeast Georgia. As the only pharmacist in Congress, I know free market principles are the best way to provide quality, affordable health care to the American people. But what was done here is different. Perverse business practices were employed to exploit a patient group trying to do nothing more than to extend their lives. None of the witnesses here today have had to look into the eyes of someone who's trying to make a decision between buying groceries and buying medication. No one here today has seen the look on a mother's face when she realizes that she can't afford to buy her child's medication. I have.
The Congressman joins me now live from Washington. Sir, thank you for taking time to join us. Now, obviously, Mr. Shkreli has a perfectly good constitutional right to invoke his Fifth Amendment against self-incrimination, and I'm sure you're not going to deny him in any shape or form that prerogative. However, you do believe that he could have answered some of those questions.
Absolutely, I believe he could have answered some of those questions, Richard. And by the way, thank you for having me here. You know, as I said, I've been a pharmacist for over 30 years, and we in the healthcare field are held to a higher standard than others are. What happened here is disgusting and just inexcusable. Shkreli and Turing have exploited the system, and it's our responsibility in Congress to make sure that we have safeguards so that this cannot happen. They targeted a group of American patients and tried to price gouge them. That simply is wrong.
And when they say that it's actually most patients only pay 1 cent, that the hospital profits are really what's hit, and as you and I, men of the world, know, that's insurance companies, and it is dispersed across the vast populace, you don't buy it.
I don't buy it for 1 minute. All of us can see through that. You know, Turing calls themselves a pharmaceutical company, even went as far as to call themselves today a research pharmaceutical company. They're just a shell of an organization. They exist for no other reason but to exploit the system. I have to tell you that this Shkreli is an evil genius. I mean, what he's done is immoral, it's repulsive, and has no place in our healthcare system in America.
Now, what did you think of his text that he sent where afterwards, having pleaded the Fifth, he then goes on to say, as you saw, you know, basically, I can't believe that these imbeciles, for which respectfully, sir, he means you, are representing our government.
You know, I don't pay any attention to this. Obviously, this guy's got a few loose screws, and there's something wrong with him. He really needs help.
He needs help, maybe, but what it does expose on the wider issue is the nature of the pharmaceutical industry in this country. And as a pharmacist, sir, I suspect you are not going to tell me that there doesn't need to be major reform.
No, I'm not going to tell you that, and you're exactly right, and that's why we had the hearing today. We need to know what we need to do in Congress, what we need to do with the FDA and the approval process. We've got 3,800 drugs in the pipeline right now that need to be approved. We need to know how we can improve that, how we can assist the FDA in getting this job done. We need to know how we can address drug shortages that come up from time to time and what we need to do. You know, I believe in free market principles, and I certainly believe that that's the way we're going to have affordable health care in America.
So how do you prevent free market principles? And this is very much one of the issues in the presidential election. If you look at the various, particularly your party's various prospective nominees, all arguing at the moment about how to make the free market work like a free market, but without the perversions of a Turing or Shkreli situation.
Well, what I think we found out today is we need more competition. What can we do in the United States Congress, in the federal government, to increase competition among suppliers and to increase competition among drug manufacturers. What can we do to improve transparency? We need to improve transparency, and as I said earlier, what can we do to assist the FDA in doing a better job of approving some of these drugs?
Congressman, thank you for taking time and coming to talk to us, sir. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Richard. I appreciate it very much.